Who's texting me? Not now. We're recording a podcast.
But we're recording a podcast. Oh, it's headshot.
I'm a very busy man who runs a digital university, has a 12-hour job going from day shift to night shift, and you have the indecency to text me at a random time.
That is the intro for Classical. Welcome everybody to the Classical Podcast. It is me, your host, Spidercaxe, alongside with Cecil.
What's good?
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure you also meant to say co-host. We ain't.
Oh yeah, co-host. Yeah,
he's
he's not a guest. He's
I was
here.
fixing to say, I was like, buddy, I'm pretty sure this was my idea, but just want to throw that out there. But yet again, I was like, hey, what if you wanted to do it? A little quick disclaimer. We woke up like an hour ago,
Very.
so expect stumbling and slurs, and I'm drinking
Slurs. Let's go.
No,
I don't want to already get our first video fucking demonetized. But welcome to Classical. This is our first episode, so if you're the first person to join in on this shenanigans, thank you for being here, I suppose. For today's topic, we will be talking about old video games and how their fandoms changed. So there's nothing too complex about the question, or at least I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not exactly that complex. I mean, here's the deal. I think, because here's the thing, go back to memory where gaming, what I wouldn't exactly say gaming was mainstream, but it was probably, I don't know, what's the word?
Popularized.
No, it's like, think of it as this. It's like, you remember in those movies, it's like where the nerd was bullied for, liking all this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
or one of those
back at
yeah,
2013, 2012, 2014 shit.
yeah, like 2010s and maybe earlier.
Yeah.
It's like there were people who played video games, but if you did, you were looked down upon. I feel like, or not really looked down upon. You were just made fun of because you were a nerd.
Fair.
It's like, wow, this guy plays fixing your stuff, and it's like, what? It's like, wow, what an absolute geek. But now,
What a nerd.
now that it's mainstream, I feel, I think after it came mainstream, it just got worse. That's just my opinion, though.
Genuinely, it kind of did, because all it did was just turn it into toxic communities and shit, like Call of Duty and shit.
Oh yeah.
Not even just like FPS games, just like overall, like the slightest inconvenience, or people are like, "Go fuck yourself, die, burn it to hell, kill your mom," like super aggressive and shit.
Are we allowed to say that on the podcast?
We are now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a bit too late to say no.
Yeah, that's right. Wherever we're posting this on, we make our own guidelines.
We are the guidelines. YouTube can't stop us.
We are the TOS.
Okay, look, if YouTube could literally have a dude shave his entire asshole and have his butthole in the thumbnail, we could say that we're.
We dads do to make it, equality. Because we gotta have them on our side.
Dads can't burn the food.
Jesus, what a great start.
Anyways, back to topic. But yeah, no, I agree with what you were saying. It definitely went into a decline. Speaking of declines, dude. Okay, so I watched Markiplier say this the other day. I don't remember how long ago this clip was. This is probably back in 2020 or so, 2022, something like that, because it was this old distractible clip. But fucking. Yeah. There was a thing where they sat there, they talked about fucking Hello Neighbor. He was so right about everything he said. It was how that Hello Neighbor fell down so hard, and nobody wanted to say anything about it because it was still in beta and shit. And I've had many fucking arguments where it's like, no, Hello Neighbor wasn't that good. I mean, it was alright when it was in alpha and shit, when you were probably 10 or 11 and you watched FGTV or fucking, I don't know, fucking Corey Kenshin play it or something. I don't fucking know. I mean, it was cool. It was alright. But once you actually get old enough to sit there and realize, damn, that was pretty shit. They sat there went through so many alphas and betas just to realize that the entire game, the full release of the game, wasn't good at all. It was literally just all those mashed together to different chapters, and it's just kind of whatever. It just shows.
You gotta love it when your alphas and betas are better than your base game.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, well, here's the entire project. We weren't too sure where to go with this, dude. You should have just kept the fucking first alpha. Honestly, you should have. You should have kept the fucking first alpha." And then they're like, "Yeah, let's release Hello. What is it? Secret Neighbor or something? Secret Neighbor was like the fucking multiplayer one with all the kids, right?
Uh, I remember like when the game came out, or Hello Neighbor came out, and it was an interesting idea where you're trying to break in to this guy's basement because apparently he's hiding something, but every time you get caught, the AI learns and gets smarter. I'm like, that's a good idea.
Yes, and like, oh, I
Like,
wish we had more
I was
games
like,
like that.
yeah, I wish like, and I wish that too, where it's more. Well, I mean, there are some ways of like, oh, you want to have a harder AI, just bump up the difficulty. No, that's I don't want like a difficulty slider. I just want the slider to keep going as I play. Well, I mean,
I want the AI
technically,
to adapt and overcome my own gameplay. Like there was a talk a couple years
exactly.
back. I don't know if it was last year or the year
Rivalry.
before, where it was like all the back rooms were getting really popular again, and then people were like posting all these other games and shit. And then there was like this
Yeah.
guy on TikTok that's like, "Here's the best game. They adapt to your movement. They start using the in-game voice chat. Start using AI." To learn your voice, to like talk to your teammates and shit, to confuse them and confuse you to kill each other.
I mean, like that's our confirmation that we just woke up an hour ago.
Yeah, I just yawned. No, but like,
It's like mid sentence.
yeah, no, but that's like genuinely something that I would like to see again, because that's what made Hello Neighbor unique. Because like Five Nights at Freddy's didn't have that shit, fucking Bendy
Yeah.
didn't have that shit, Tattletale didn't have that shit. I mean, Tattletale kinda did. The only thing that Mama did during Tattletale was like she'd like teleport to your walking patterns. That's about it. And then you
Yeah.
had fucking what all did you have? You had FNAF, Tattletale, Bendy, Hello
Uh,
Neighbor,
does
and
Baldi's Basic count?
what? I mean, yeah,
Does it?
Baldy Basics did. Yeah, he
I
was
would
around that
actually.
time period, but I don't think it counts
Yeah.
as that AI advancement.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
he got
It.
faster, but that was about it. But that's just like, and
Yeah.
that's written in code though. AI is
Yeah.
entirely different from that.
All right. I chased down the player. Now what? Every time he gets a book, get faster. All right.
Start fat and faster in the hallway. What do you
uh, this is.
mean? God, this is off to a great start for our first episode.
You're too sleep deprived.
Nuh-uh.
I t- and I'm the one who worked until 6 a.m. last night.
I went to bed at 4 in the morning. I woke up at 2 p.m.
Dude, I decided to be an idiot,
Elaborate.
and and so as soon as I got to work, I wanted to immediately because I didn't know if I was gonna have any time to play any games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I hopped on? I hopped on multiverses and frickin' tried to do those that finish off the daily quest. And
At
that one
work.
week, no, not at work. When as soon as I got home.
Oh, you said as soon as I got to work.
No, no, oh, sleep deprivation, fellas.
Cecil
Please
is still waking up.
get 8 hours of sleep. I'm drinking this non-generic, not sponsored drink. I ain't saying what it is, but it's caffeinated.
If you won't, I will. I'm joking. Fucking no. So back to the fucking Hello Neighbor topic. That
Yeah,
okay. So like fucking so many people argue. They're like, yeah, but they did release the full game, so it's like they did make a full game that people actually
yeah.
enjoyed. I'm like, no, it ran cold and it ran dry. They milked the
So
fuck out of
yeah,
the alphas and the betas as long as they could, and then once they released the full game, people were like, oh, it's literally just the same shit. Cool. Nobody
yeah.
cares.
Actually, what was weird about it is that, like, it. They said it was like, oh, it's like slightly open world, which I guess was right,
Yeah.
but also it was empty.
Yeah.
I mean,
During
sure, you had your scenery, like you had your neighborhoods and all that. You only had a few NPCs that you could only interact with, which were, in fact, I think the same guys that you had to try and get away from. So, other than that, that's the only population in that entire freaking game.
entirely like that game was kind of it was kind of like an open world. I do understand what they mean because it's like you have a
Yeah,
lot to explore with a house. You have a lot of puzzles. It's really good, but it's like I felt like they didn't really give us enough hints whenever that we tried to play it because it was just kind of eh. I mean, there's like
yeah,
obvious stuff like whenever that we had the first alpha, I think, or the first beta, I don't remember, where it was I want to say Den TDM, I think that I watched play. But whenever that you would go up the stairs, and there was like a little painting, and you had to like throw something at the painting to open up the gate. I felt like that was really creative as shit. There was a lot of
I,
good things that came from it, and whenever they put out
yeah,
the full release, especially for Switch, because I played it for Switch, it was not that great. But any game on Switch is kind of mid unless if it's an actual Nintendo game. But
yeah,
fucking, it was so bad only for the fact being that most of the things wouldn't work. It would be like, yo, okay, you gotta go get this key. And I was like, okay, I did it. And I was like, I felt like I did it. I don't think I did do it. YouTube tutorial, it's exactly what I did. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you want me to do? No, but
yeah.
fucking, I don't
I
know.
think what
It
I
just
think
felt
actually what
repetitive.
it's Yeah, I think what mostly its downfall was not was actually its like it was a double-edged sword. You had an ever-evolving AI as well as you have to solve puzzles. It's like sure, I would say that is challenging, although it's kind of bad when the puzzles are too complex and you're to the point where the AI is just too smart, it gets you every time.
Exactly. But I
And
don't,
it's just like that's not even fun anymore.
yeah. I just don't think that it's like, I don't think it was I don't really think it was the puzzles that were the problem. I think it was just like, oh, well, they could have at least given it a little bit more hints, instead of just, oh, well, here's this. We're going to see if they can figure it out. I mean, yeah, it was cool. But, I mean, like, in the full game, the only thing that I had a problem with in the full game was mainly because, it was like, I don't know, because okay, so for different alphas and betas, you remember that the story changed, the house got a different look, all that shit, right?
Yeah,
It
like the house
always
got like
changed.
a different. Yeah, the house got a different look, new
The
puzzles, new
basement
area,
changed
whatever.
location. Like in the first one, all you had to do
Yeah,
was go fucking straight, turn right. It's right fucking there. No, and then like the
and
second or third
sometimes the
one,
basement wouldn't even be there, and you're just
yeah,
like, thanks for playing. It's like,
yeah,
huh?
and it's like, huh?
Last beta, I was able to go in, and you didn't even explain what that was.
Yeah, like some of them, it was like, oh, you can't even go in, and then you can go in, and I just unplugged my fucking headset, so give me 1 sec. But like,
Lovely.
it was weird. I didn't really. I mean, it was okay whenever I was little and I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, this is like fucking creative as shit. My ADHD's gonna go "Whoa" when I see this.
Look.
Yeah, but now that I've actually played the full game, when I've actually had full consciousness of my reality, it's kind of it's not that great. It really isn't because
Yeah.
there's like 5 or 4 chapters. I don't remember, 5 or 6, somewhere around there. Because I played the full game on Switch, but the way that the full game works is like, cool. You have the full game. It's worth like $20 to $25. We're gonna go ahead and give it to you. And each and every
That thing
chapter
was
of this
25
game,
bucks.
yeah, it's
Man.
mainly because it was for Switch, but it's
Yeah.
Nintendo and it's Walmart, so I don't care. But they
Yeah.
fucking had it. It was like cool. So you remember all those betas that you played? Yeah, that's gonna be chapter 1 and 3. 2, we're gonna have something that was never even introduced into the game. 4, we're gonna have something that's all right. It's not nothing too complex. And then 5 is just gonna be some half-assed ending.
Yeah.
And then basically it's just free roam after that. You get to do whatever the fuck you want.
It, it's just actually I feel not to change the subject, but to kind of be relevant on like game series that kind of fell off. Now there's gonna be a very interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the old FNAF games were better.
The older ones were better than the ones that we have now? Most definitely. Maybe because that we didn't have the fucking movement, like full on movement. The only one that I feel like is a personal favorite for me would probably be Sister Location, just because of actual voice lines
Yeah,
besides the
yeah,
phone call.
yeah.
The
Sister Location was probably the most interesting out of the.
It was the most interactive one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was essentially UCN before UCN.
Here, here's the thing. Like I know there's like this whole debate on social media or whatever because I see it all the time.
Which for that's the
Is
best
that
stuff.
no, not that, not really that. It's more of like new fans versus old fans,
Oh, that's because it's like I don't
and
know.
it's like people. Which first off, I think this whole discussion of "oh, you're not a true fan" is an entirely redundant statement. Because if you're telling someone they're not really a fan, even though they enjoy it, and sure they don't, maybe not, they might not be as engaged as you, but as long as they like it, as long as they plays the game, sure they don't have to know every single detail about it. They don't have to know the entire lore. They don't have to
Exactly.
watch every single MatPat video.
I
It's like
don't.
they're
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and be the first to admit this. I don't watch MatPat. I only see like maybe 2 or 3 of his videos.
interesting.
I don't watch them. I mean, I didn't as a kid. A lot of people that I know who played FNAF and like actually got into the lore and shit, they're like, oh well, MatPat said this and MatPat said that. I'm like, who? I never watched them. I mean, I watched them like a couple of times here recently on like some short clips and whatever. I'd be like, oh, well, I didn't think about it like that. Like most of the lore and shit, I would figure out on my own through like watching
Yeah.
gameplay, and I'd be like, oh, what does this mini game represent? What does that one represent? Like mainly in FNAF 3, because that's the only one that we got mini games in. I mean, we also got
No,
it in FNAF
well,
4, but it was more
no,
explanatory.
there was some in the second one.
There are mini games the two. Oh yeah, the Follow Me one. That's right.
Y- y- Well, not only that, but they're also like it's not really ones that you could like just randomly go into. You would have to die. Like every time you get jump scared, you have a chance of getting a minigame. That's pretty much it.
I didn't remember that. I do remember that there was like the little scene after every night where that you have to be on the stage and the puppet watches you or something.
Uh, I don't know which game that was.
That was two.
Oh, okay.
Two was my
But
favorite for the longest time because it had the most amount of animatronics and it was like, holy shit, there's so many mechanics. This is like actually cool. Which when I mean many mechanics, I'm like, cool. You have a flashlight,
I was
you have a monitor, you can wind up a music box, and you have a mask.
yeah,
But it was still
I was
creative. I liked it a lot.
yeah, but uh, crap. What was I gonna say? Uh,
You're talking about old fans and new fans.
right. So anytime when that gets brought up, I just think it's dumb. It's a dumb conversation. Now, I will admit I'm a little biased, and I think
Mm.
that the old games are better. I was there from the very beginning, from 2014.
Oh yeah,
Now, I was a little late to the party
same.
by like maybe I want to say like maybe 2 3 months
I was late
because
as well.
I think I want to say I was 12, 13, and I remember like, but this was around the time where Minecraft YouTubers were really big. Like
Oh yeah, like
that's what I
Dan
most
TDM,
Dan
Stampy,
TD,
fucking popular MMOs. Yeah.
another one that I really liked. And honestly, these were pretty much my childhood, and I feel bad for them now that I learned about them.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Sky Does Minecraft?
I've heard of it. A lot of people have talked about him. I don't know who that is. I mean, I know what he
I
did now that I've found out through TikTok, but I don't know who he is.
I loved his content. Anything that he did with his friends. I feel like that's pretty much what got me into gaming. Is just like having a great time with friends.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I don't know because I didn't really. All I did was ever watch was Dan TDM, FGTV, and shit like that. Like family grouping, like family and friend channels. That's all it was. It was just like
Yeah.
they all play stupid, goofy games and shit. But no, I understand what you're saying. Don't worry about the fucking being late to the FNAF thing too. I was because I don't remember how old I was in 2014. In 2014, I was like 9, so I didn't really have much access to internet until I was about like third or fourth grade. So I was about like 10 or 11 at that time. So it was around like 2015 or 2016 when I started. About when FNAF 3 came out. FNAF 3 came out,
Okay.
yeah, around 2015 or so, I
Yeah.
think. But like, so I had I started learning about the lore and shit, and like at the same time, that's when our Happy Wheels was still really fucking big, like
Oh
really
God,
big with
Happy Wheels.
Jacksepticeye. Yeah, like Happy Wheels is
Jack,
really big.
Mark.
Yeah,
Didn't PewDiePie get into Happy Wheels?
I don't know. I didn't really watch
Or
PewDiePie
am I
either.
just thinking that up?
I didn't watch PewDiePie either.
I mean, I watched a little bit of his stuff. When I like back in, I want to say maybe around that era, 2014 through 2016, somewhere around that. I didn't watch a whole lot of them. I mostly watched something like Mark or Jack
Yeah.
because I like it's not that I didn't like PewDiePie. It's just like I just it's like ooh Jack is on or Mark is on or whatever. Uh, until I don't know if I ever told you this, but the way how I got into the FNAF games and the community and all that was so part of Sky's group was I think his name was like Bad no it was like I can't remember what his name is but like his his pretty much his entire logo was something to do with watermelons
Yeah.
and I cannot remember his name for the life of me but all I know is that if I remember correctly the guy like disappeared
Mm.
like legitimately went missing. Like it's not like oh he vanished from the internet. No, the man like legitimately went missing.
Oh damn.
That or killed over. I don't remember,
Damn.
but I remember he played FNAF 2, and uh, it I've like I think I watched his second video of it. I'm like, hey, this is not that bad. And remember, I was 12. I was 12 at this time.
Yeah.
So little Cecil was still developing, and because also around this time is when I got into like stuff like other horrors like Slender Man, Jeff the Killer,
Oh
yada
my
yada yada, like
god,
all
I
that kind
remember getting
like
really big into Undertale mainly, and then FNAF, then Happy Wheels.
yeah. But when I was like, I was hoping that he never got jump scared, which in the second one he never did. But then I said, oh, he's got another one. I might as well watch it. And it's the one before this. I watched it, and the puppet got him. After that, I had nightmares for at least a good week.
Oh my god, no. So
It was hilarious. So the FNAF's first impression for me was a nightmare for a week, and now it's stuck with me for the past 9 years
okay,
or like 10 years.
what's really funny is when that FNAF 4 came out. This was like in
Oh
2015 or
God, FNAF.
2016. I'm gonna say 2015. I was sitting there watching it. I was like, "Yo, okay, Markiplier again." And I was watching it. I was like, "Oh,
The first
well,
night is usually not that bad. So anyway,
yeah." I was like, "Oh." And when I saw that she could jump scare, I was like, "Oh, I don't like the design of that." So I didn't watch it until like 2016 because I was so scared to watch it. I watched it at night once at my grandparents. I was like, "I don't like that." And I realized whenever after I watched that video, I seen like the layout of how the house is. I'm like, that looks just like an older house I was in. Whenever I was like really fucking little,
wait,
like when I was
wait
beginning
wait a
school,
second. Was I crying, child? Do I have
I
do
would
I just
have.
just non-perpetual tears coming out of my eyes? I
Am I
have
in purgatory with my nightmares?
Am I in purgatory? Someone help! Wait a second.
Where's
I
the
remember
fog sheep?
my brother has a mask, and I think I have a sister. I don't know. We don't really talk about her.
I genuinely thought that. I was like, do I have a sister I don't know about? And it was like, my parents didn't know what FNAF was at the time, so I was just kind of like, I'm like, that looks like my old house. Like, whenever I first started school and shit,
Mom,
what do
Mom,
I
Dad, I
do?
think our old house was haunted. What do you mean? I'm glad we moved into our new one. What?
Huh? No
What are you
context. No
what are you
context,
talking
just like,
about?
get me away from the chicken mother.
Please keep me away from the big bear
Whore. But
with a
fucking
hat.
with a hat. No, but it was like so Chica. I would like have all these random ass nightmares and shit of like the old house that I used to live in, and I'd be like sleeping on like a beanbag or something, and I was just like sitting in a corner, and I hear like the door creak. I look up, look straight, and I just see Chica's red eye just glowing. I was like,
That's not
"Mama,
terrifying.
mama, mama," and nothing happened.
Mama.
And then it's just a fucking all I see is like it's not. It's, what's funny is that it wouldn't even like fully animate move because I was still young at the time. So it was like it would just kind of like it would kind of like
It's
move.
like
It would like float around like a PNG, just getting slid across the screen towards me, and I'd be like, and I wake up.
no. Virtual insanity. Just
Exactly. Yeah.
do-do,
Yeah.
do-do.
It was just virtual insanity his way towards me. So no, that
Had the same pose and everything, and for some reason the giant hat.
the cupcake just like sitting there breaking it down sexual style.
The last thing you hear before you die. Pizza.
Pizza. Oh my god, I forgot about those shitty SFMs. Like,
that threw you back, didn't
oh
it?
my god, yes. Like that reminds me of Rai 99. Nobody knows who that man is. Shout out to Rai 99 by the way. He's still he's like
what's that guy's name?
Rai 99.
Rai.
Rai 99. It's all one word. RYE 99. But like fucking
Okay.
he
Rai.
he made like so many old SFMs and shit, and it's like they're so popular, like really fucking popular, but nobody knew who he was. Nobody subscribed to him. Like he's still in the thousands of followers. I'm at subscribers since like 8 and 10 years ago.
We got one 7 years ago, 2.6 million views.
Exactly.
Another one 6 years ago, 1.4 million views. One 8 months ago, and it's I mean, 141K. That's still quite a bit.
I mean, yeah, it's still a lot, but like knowing his subscriber count after so many years of YouTube, so many years, is insane.
Yeah,
because
with
like
just a little bit under 700,000 subscribers.
Oh, I thought it was like way lower than that. Never mind. He's getting the recognition he deserves. But like it
Yeah.
but mainly he
Ma-
was known for like his SFMs and shit, and then he started doing Zany Gmod, which was I remember watching that all the time. And watching like new characters come on and some people leaving because of drama and shit. I actually got to play with
Yeah.
him once. I got to play with him once in 2020. They were doing
That was dope.
Jackbox live on YouTube, and I was like, "Yo, that's his alt account. I'm gonna see if I could actually join in on that." I joined in on that. We had the fucking best time. I was like, "Damn, dude, that's crazy." Only if I could actually like ask to join them, and I was like too chicken. I'm like, "Nah, I ain't gonna fucking do it." And I didn't have
Why
a
did
PC at the time.
I'm trying to scroll down, looking more at his videos. Why did I just come back to? It says you might like this. This video will be deleted in 2 years and 5 months.
I seen that on my fucking For You page. I don't understand that on like fucking YouTube. I'm just scrolling down trying to find something last night right before I went to bed so I could eat my cereal and I can watch like Corey Kenshin or Markiplier or something. Nah, it's like this video will be deleted in 2 years and 5 months. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like stop being inconspicuous. You're not cool even though in your head you're like,
And it's like
oh,
the
I'm being really edgy and mysterious.
is it like the Steve dude? Is that what the video's about?
Yeah, it's like yeah. His name is Steve.
With like couple easy shit. Yeah, it's like the Minecraft
Yeah.
YouTuber. It's weird. I don't know.
Oh, dude. I'm scrolling through some of these
Zany
the most
Gmod.
yeah. Well, it's not that I'm really actually clicking on the videos. I'm just looking at the thumbnails, and oh, I feel like this. It has like a somewhat nostalgic feeling, even though I never watched this guy.
You did watch it. You just don't remember. Everybody watched it. Everybody does. That was in like the FNAF fandom in like 2015, 2016. Because he made so much about. Okay, so you know the thing of Toy Freddy and Freddy, they're sitting at a computer, whatever, and they start booping each other's noses and they like fall backwards in the chair? That was him.
I, maybe, maybe. Oh my god.
What? Dude,
Like, okay, but in all fairness, my memory is terrible. You know this.
it shows.
Yeah, it shows. So trust me, if I could barely remember something that happened last week, there's no way in hell that I'm gonna be remembering something like years ago.
Cecil doesn't even know that
I,
he's currently alive right now. He doesn't know his own birth. He's
I'm,
not self aware
I,
yet.
dude, I thought you meant live, like on Twitch. I'm like, when did we get on Twitch? I was like, this is a podcast, not a freaking live stream.
That start streaming button looking hella nice.
I mean, I mean, just saying.
Just
Wait, why the
saying.
hell? Just saying.
No, but
But
fucking like it's crazy because like people don't understand all the shit that a single game can cause with an entire fandom. Like FNAF, how many? No, not FNAF. What is it? Undertale. How many AUs does that motherfucker have? Like
oh my god,
so many
dude,
AUs,
do
so
not
many.
do not get me started on
The best one, hands
The
down, was
Undertale fandom
Underswap,
or the community.
and Underfell. Easy, hands down.
Okay, now I didn't know any of the other alternate universes. Like I mostly just stuck with the main one.
I mean, yeah.
But also, I don't think I ever told you this. But this is a new story for you, but also to our fellow listeners out there.
Ooh.
Undertale was the very first game that introduced me to gay people.
Mm. Well, wait, is it the two dogs,
No, no. Well, here's the thing.
Alphys and Undyne?
No, yeah, it was Alphys and Undyne. Like, when did that game come out? Like
2016.
2016?
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
so I was 14 at the time.
Let me look at
So
this.
so here's the thing. Now, I knew that like because I remember when I was getting older, my parents, and which my family is religious, and we go to church and all that. But my mother, it was specifically my mother. I don't think my father ever told me, but it was specifically my mother who was like, now 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 son, I need there's some people out there. Now, this was kind of this was back when
It came out in
homose
2015.
now this was back when like homosexuality was not exactly accepted. And it was just like it was illegal to because I remember it was a time before homosexual marriage was a thing. And then I remember my parents had a discussion of like, did you hear that it's now like they can now do it. And they're like, oh, okay. I didn't understand it at the time, which I'm like, I still don't know what that is.
Oh my god, I remember.
And and then when I watched, I want to say Jack play it, and then he got to that part, and because I knew, I didn't really know what Alphys was. I knew that Undyne was a woman,
Yeah.
and then when he got to Alphys, and of course gave her like this little high pitched voice. I thought it was just like a kind of a nerd kind of speak, like
Average Cecil interaction.
it's, uh, yes, but no. But and but I remember there. It's like I want to ask this person out, but I don't know how to do it. And it's just like, oh, it's like you remember like when Alphys like went to go put on a dress.
Hmm.
When I first saw that, I was like, isn't Alphys a dude? And when they like came into the same like it was like during the interaction and they first showed up on the same screen and they were talking. I'm like, wait, who's the dude? Who's the dude in this interaction? Because I didn't know both of them were female.
Neither.
So I kind of looked at it. I'm like, I don't what who are these? What are they? And then later on, I'm like, oh, they're gay.
Oh, they're gay. Oh god.
So yeah,
I remember.
that was my first interaction with the people. Even
You
even though
can't just call them the people.
no no
That's
no,
the.
I was gonna rephrase it. That and also you didn't let me finish. It was the whole term of homosexuality, even though it was not with another person, it was video game characters.
The people.
The people. Now look to listen, all my fellow listeners. I'm kind of a relic. All right, I'm ancient. Bones are aching. I'm turning to dust as we speak.
Dude, you are
So,
21.
22.
Oh well, yeah. I tried to be nice about it.
Why do, dude? Ever since I turned
You
22,
you are
no one has been able to figure out my age. It's
you
like,
you are 3 years older than me. It's fine.
my sister thought I was 27. I'm like, what?
Ooh.
I was like, do I look 27?
Yes.
She goes, no. I'm like, then why'd you say I was 27?
I wanted to anger the old man.
I want to anger the old man. And my friends are like, man, you're just rickety. I'm like, I'm 22. I'm not. I'm
Rickety and
not.
rackety.
I was like, I'm not that old. And they said, I don't know. You have memory problems. Your back is always hurting. I'm like, please stop rubbing it in.
You can't see straight. You can barely form a normal
I can't.
sentence. You can't hear for shit.
Well, actually, no. I can't hear for shit. That's true. Well, but that's only because. Have you never been in a situation with me? It's just like you'll tell something to me. I'll be like, huh,
Huh? Everybody be like, huh?
huh,
Every man in the chat right now go, huh?
huh.
Spam the comment section with, huh?
Speaking of man, my father is calling me. Not now, father. I'm busy.
Oh well, shit. Not now, Papa. I am in the middle of podcast. There was a lot of shit back in like fourth or fifth grade of shit. Cause like we had, like I said, we had Undertow, we had FNAF, Tattletale, we had fucking Benny the Ink Machine, we had Baldi's Basics. I didn't really like Baldi. I watched like maybe one or two gameplay of it, not even Markiplier's, maybe Dantidium's once, and I didn't like it. Like it was alright, but no, like one of my favorite things to watch was probably Markiplier's Sister Location compilation over and over. I still watch that to this fucking day. If I get bored and I'm like, damn, I need something to watch, I'll pull up fucking Markiplier Sister Location. That is the best thing to fucking watch. I love it with a passion. But Benny and the Ink Machine was really big. I loved it. I still love it to this day. It's one of my favorites. Out of like every other indie game from like 2014 to 2016, if I had to choose one of the OGs, it would probably be. See, I would say FNAF, but like Cecil said earlier, it's kind of getting like to the point where it doesn't really feel like FNAF anymore. It just feels like a roaming game. I mean, the jump scares and the animatronics are still the same. Whatever the fuck, the storyline I guess is kind of the same. It's just like I don't know. It's not the same for me. It's not that normal point and click adventure. Like Into the Pit. Like I'm recording Into the Pit right now. I mean, I haven't recorded episode 3.
All right, enough shilling. Guess what came in the mail?
Huh? What? What?
Hold up.
This bitch. Anyways, I'm gonna continue my story until I'm ready. But
Okay, hold on. Wait. Guess what came in the mail?
what?
You already know I got that GG.
GG.
Gamer subs.
Oh, we're not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not sponsored. I just really like their products.
All right,
Unless if they want to sponsor, I will happily use.
sponsor us. I don't have a life. I need somebody to pay me. I'm joking.
What do you- Actually, wait, no, I was fixing to say, I was like, I don't think well, no, we have one sponsor, technically.
Dubby.
W.
But yeah. Anyways, so like
We're
I
kind
don't.
of in the sidelines.
But like I was saying, the way that fucking FNAF is now, it just doesn't feel the same. Only for the fact being of, well, like I said, it's the same animatronics. It has kind of the same storyline. I mean, they didn't change the past. It's just like they're adding to all of it before and adding like all this lore that doesn't really make sense. Like, oh, well, William Afton died in the second fucking fire winter. He was burn trapped, right? Bro turned himself into a fucking VHS tape. Is now a glitchy yellow and green rabbit. Cool, right? Yeah, it makes total sense. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't really. But like, I don't know. If I had to choose out of any of the indie fandoms, it would probably be Bendy because it was consistent. It has a nice storyline, a really nice graphics. Hello Neighbor's definitely not up there because I've already stated this at literally the beginning of the fucking podcast. Baldy, I never really did get into it. It's kind of it's kind of dumb in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then FNAF is really good. He'd probably be second tier. And then Undertale, oh my god, dude. I feel like after I watched the entirety of Undertale gameplays, I was like, I don't even want to know what happens after this. I'm okay with this on both endings, all endings, whatever. And then they're like, Deltarune. I'm like, I can never get into Deltarune. I didn't like it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. With Deltarune? Actually, no. I think what made the like entire community, or not really the community, but Undertale as a whole, how became so popular. I feel it was just the characters. I don't really think it was the story. It was just
Mainly.
the character. It was just the character interaction. I mean, heck, how do you think you get so many variations of different characters? I mean, do we really need to go through how many AUs Sans has and how many I've seen that?
Over 9,000.
Regina,
How many AUs does he have? It's over 9,000.
shit, I can see the deviant art now.
No. And then most of it, oh my god, I know exactly what we're talking about. And then most of it would be like Papyrus and Sans. You're like, bro, those are brothers. Get the fuck out.
Well, actually, no. That's mostly what I would just see. It's just variations of both Sans and Papyrus. I wouldn't see any of Undyne. I wouldn't see any of Toriel or
That's a
Asgore.
lie. But Toriel's everywhere. We know this.
But AUs though.
Oh, we're not talking. Oh, I wasn't talking about AUs.
What do you
I
think we were?
you
God damn, Spider.
you were still on the topic of DeviantArt. I couldn't tell if we were talking about that or not.
I mean, DeviantArt is not just for. I mean,
Lies.
it's mostly for porn,
I
but
say it is. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
dude,
it's.
there's
I mean,
barely
like,
any tutorial. Don't lie, boy.
no. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about like alternate universes versions or
Oh yeah, no.
alternate
The
versions of Toriel. Like name one that is mostly popular, like and consisting that same popularity as much as like Sans or Papyrus.
Okay, the underswap AU for the fact being that she's the one that you have to fight at the very end, and instead of Toriel being the one that meets you and greets you and all that shit and helps you through the maze, it's Asgore instead.
All right, you got a good point. Even though I completely forgot about that one because I didn't do any
Underswap
research with
Underswap
any
is
of
my
the other.
favorite AU, and it's only because of Underswap Papyrus. That's it. Underswap Papyrus is bad as hell. Well, not bad, but like badass as fuck.
Yeah, he's bad.
I'm down
Who's
bad for
bad?
the skeleton bone.
Excuse me.
No, no
Bone,
explanation needed.
bone the bones.
I don't put my bone to his bone. Bone trussel, bone trussel.
Hey, you see, the human skeleton has 206 bones. Mind if I had 207?
207 when I hear underswap AU bonus trussel. Overall, so so the topic of today was that the fandoms are weird. Some games were not meant to be.
Fa- fa- yeah, fandoms were weird. Some games were not yet to be, like Concord. God, I feel so bad for that game. It, they made that game for 8 years, and it lasted 8 days.
Facts.
And when I saw
God
that, I was like, damn,
damn.
that is, because think, it was made by Sony, or I think like a team by Sony.
Mhm.
and it you know if it cost or not costed, but if it took them 8 years to develop this, you gotta imagine the budget. Like probably hundred to millions of dollars were wasted only for $30,000, pretty much.
Only for 30,000.
Only for 30,000
Only.
because they sold in total 25 units, not 25,
Bruh.
25,000.
Damn. All
But
right.
yeah,
So fucking overall, to conclude said podcast, we learned that Hello Neighbor was mid and was not
yeah.
good at all, especially in the finalized version. The
Hold
the
on, hold on,
alphas and
hold on.
betas were good.
I was fixing to say, I was like, would you really say that Hello Neighbor was mid?
It
I would
was
say
it was
less.
mid. I
I
will
would,
say I will
I was,
say I will say it was mid except for the AI and the people who made the content. Those are the only
yeah.
people that made it enjoyable.
If I had to give it a scoring, I'd probably say maybe like a 4 out of 10. The only thing that really carried it was
Was
the
the
AI.
AI?
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
So we
Other than
learned
that,
Hello Neighbor
it's
is it's eh. We got
it's
FNAF.
eh.
FNAF was big part of our childhood and our nightmares.
Yeah,
Mainly our
and that
nightmares.
yeah,
I pissed and
it,
shit at the bed many times.
it was our dreams and nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah,
Body's Basics wasn't good at all. It was all right. We
we only talked
had.
about Baldur's Basics like a little bit.
I know that's why I mentioned it. Undertale with its weird ass AUs and demon artists,
and
and
and,
our
and it's weird fandom.
yes, and our talk on FNAF mainly. That's
Yeah,
mainly all that we talked about.
it was mostly just the prime indie games that was around like 2014, 2016.
Yeah.
What's funny, I don't even think did we even talk about like any other AAA game, or did we just talk about indie?
No, I don't think it was just indie.
You know, if there's one AAA game
I
that
mean,
we
we
should have
mentioned
talked
Happy
about,
Wheels.
we, would you consider Happy Wheels an indie game?
No.
It's, I was fixing to say it's like that's more like under the title
Well,
of like Flash
literally,
game.
the title of the episode is just called "A Blast to the Past: Games and Their
True.
Fandoms." So this is going to be the first episode of Classical. Thank you guys so much for listening in. For the viewers over on Spotify and those over on YouTube, you get to see the video, so this is even better for you. Hope you all enjoyed. We'll make sure to put this out as soon as that we can. See, so any last words?
You know, when you mentioned that we were supposed to do video, were we supposed to have were we supposed to have our cameras on that entire fucking time?
Seriously, forgot I have fucking camera. So YouTube, the first episode that you're getting is just audio. So is
Okay.
Spotify.
Don't worry. This is just a preview. This is a taste test.
This is the pilot episode, so I guess it
This
really doesn't matter.
yeah, this is the pilot episode. What you get is what you're gonna have for the rest of the entire session of classical.
Yes. No, I'm lying. But,
This
yeah.
this is the standard.
This is standard. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to end this here, and we will catch y'all on the second episode of Classical, which will probably be done sometime next week or week after, one or the other.
Which I will.
Huh. Cecil just died. So while his Wi-Fi is fucking him over, I will go ahead and be the first one to do the outro as Cecil is finagling with his internet.
Man, I really love my internet, and when it comes in clutch, don't you love it?
Yes. Alrighty. Now it's time for the outro. So, thank you guys once again for watching. If you want to see more stuff like this, stay tuned for our updates. We may be posting weekly, maybe bi-weekly, one or the other. Not too sure. We'll figure it out sooner or later, and we will be able to let you guys know.
We're going to try and do weekly.
We will try and do weekly. If it is unavailable, then we'll figure it out from there. But we hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe and like to keep up with our posts. And follow us over on Spotify once this actually gets put out on there. And we will see.
We're going to figure that soon.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. I'll figure that out. But we will see y'all in the next one, in the next episode. Thank you.